What is the best version of James Harden that he can be right now? If he goes in the gym this summer, goes in the lab, gets to know the system, whatever it is, what's the best version of James Harden that fans can expect?
I think a lot of it comes down to his health, the shape he's in. That hamstring injury that he had in Brooklyn last season seemed to still linger at times throughout this season. He's still a fantastic player. And if his sort of ceiling right now in that Philly system is 20 and 10, you need to pay him a lot of money. I just don't know that I'm comfortable extending him to the supermax where he's going to be making $60 million as a 37-year-old. Again, I go back to, paying this version of James Harden at this age versus paying the Houston version of James Harden. It's two very different things, and it's two very different players, and that's not to say he can't have an impact on winning, because he can.
I know you feel like you should pay him the supermax. I know that's your thing. You should pay him for a while, Pat Bev. Why?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
When you say fantastic players,
Yeah.
he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Who else is a fantastic player?
Let's think. Fantastic players. Like Trae Young's fantastic.
Max, Superman.
Yeah,
We'll get
he's
to Superman.
20.
We're talking about Giannis on down.
I know. I'll just keep going so we can speak. I know they have.
Did you hear my qualifier?
Yeah, I did.
Of age.
He's young.
Did you hear my qualifier of $60 million at 37 years old?
Yeah.
Did you, in the first hour, did you hear when I talked about viewing this through an organizational standpoint and having to pay James Harden $60 million
I just
at
asked who
37?
fantastic players were.
There's a lot of fantastic players.
You name
Pat.
one person.
I'm not trying to slander James Harden. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. I'm saying he's a fantastic player.
Who else is?
There's 40 or 50 fantastic players in the NBA, and not all of them are on max contracts, and you know that. You know who else is a fantastic player? Chris Paul. Chris Paul's making 30. I think James Harden should make more than him, but he shouldn't be on a supermax. No matter how much you fight this, it still doesn't make sense in your book.
And he averages 22, 10, and 8.
Great.
Almost a triple-double.
Great.
He shouldn't be on the supermax.
Okay.
You
should go run the 76ers then. You really should. You should go run the 76ers. When you're done, go run the 76ers.
22, 10 assists. Not only did he got better in assists after he left Houston.
Yeah, because he plays a different role now.
So a 22, 10, and 8 guy doesn't deserve a supermax?
You're going to pay a guy that just had that playoff performance $60 million at age 37. You're comfortable doing that as a GM and as an ownership group?
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
So speak in a way. Speak to Philly fans in a way, because they're looking at it and they're saying, we saw a guy who was under 19 points per game, who didn't seem to show up in the biggest of moments. In the last game, took 2 shots in the second half. We brought him in to be that guy who can be the co-superstar with Joel Embiid. So speak to that point, why that person should get the supermax.
I feel like it's when you speak of a team, it's 15, 17 guys.
Okay.
Right? It's 3, max, maybe 1, 2 a little higher than. I mean, we can look at James, we can look at Tobias also. Right. We can look at different options of it, but the question is, do you get James Harden the max, the supermax, excuse me? Yes, that's the question. He said fantastic players. I asked who else. He said Trae Young. Trae Young will get the supermax. He told me due to age. I
said there's 40 or 50 fantastic players.
Yeah.
And Trae Young's one of them.
One of them.
Chris Paul's one of them.
But you're saying he's one of those players.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
If he's a fantastic player and then there's 40 to 50 fantastic players and all of them doesn't get supermax, half of them do get the supermax.
We talked about this yesterday. Has there been a situation where a guy has signed the second version of the supermax and that has worked out for the team? If you can name me one, I'm besides Steph Curry. Yeah, one. Steph Curry. Guess who's in the best shape of any NBA player? Steph Curry. Guess whose skill set ages better than any NBA player? Steph Curry. Okay, so that's one.
And
there's no other example.
He thinks James Harden.
That's my firm belief.
All right.
One quick question here, based on what I see here. A lot of people, I be quiet about stuff. I just let people talk a lot that goes into it. Keep pushing. What do you expect him to do this summer? What will he do? What does he need to do?
Respond.
How?
With his body, with his mental preparation. Of course, he hears everything. He watches everything. He hears everything. He will respond.
Will he come back as the vintage James Harden from Houston, do you think?
Does the team need that? Does the team need that? You say vintage.
Like they did.
You say vintage, but he's actually playing role. He's actually in a Robin role, not Batman. So I'm asking, what do you guys need from him? If you say scoring, if you say scoring, then okay.
But what Robin is getting a supermax?
James Harden, Robin. Draymond Green.
Draymond Green didn't get the Supermax.
I mean, that's you asking who else would. And in my opinion, these are guys that you can't.
I'll put it out,
Draymond
and
Green
I got to leave
at
this subject
age, the Supermax.
But we're not even having this conversation if Joel Embiid is healthy 2 games, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So
we're not
you
even
think they
having
would have won the series.
Man, we're not having this conversation if Joel Embiid is healthy.
This is back to the asterisk talk about yesterday. We could talk about this every series,
so,
every postseason. There's an asterisk next to everything. We have injuries, we have bad luck every single.
So if Philly would have went to the conference final, does he deserve the Supermax then?
Based on his performance,
I'm asking. No,
because Joel's the best player.
So again, you're in a lose-lose then. I can't say anything and have a chance of winning if no matter what, no matter if they go to the conference finals, no matter if they go to the finals, if Joel's the best player, he doesn't deserve Supermax. So
I think that's an interesting discussion. JJ, what do you, if, and I know we're dealing in hypotheticals here.
Pat Beverley,
go ahead.
the NBA is a results-based business. You know that better than anyone. You are a player.
Over years, not just at that moment.
Oh, I disagree with that completely.
Okay.
I disagree with that.
And I think a lot of people in Philly would take issue with that too.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.